installment 4 of Rouge. We did a good job laying out some groundwork and some other things for the overall, I guess, building of the world and a little bit more of what is going to drive us forward, like main, like direct plot, I guess, and how a lot of different organizations or people specifically or things are driving our main characters and putting them in certain positions and allowing us to kind of see how they each feel or why they feel certain ways and kind of give them maybe overall goal, with Rouge specifically finding the will to kind of want to be free in a way, or find what that really means and find what making your own choices and being your own person can kind of be like, becoming the hope for her people, or for the other people on the Neon specifically. Her and Naomi had their fight, but I believe we'll be able to kind of come together and come to more of a mutual understanding here throughout this episode, and we'll kind of explore a little bit further. Our boy Duval ended up getting absolutely domed and they fucking killed the boy, which is a bit unfortunate, but it was kind of, I think, necessary to drive us forward a little bit more, to understand the extents that I guess certain people and certain different high-ranking officials in a way would kind of go out of their way to silence somebody like him trying to lead a revolt. It's like when people try and start unions and stuff, you know, it's like, we will have no talks of that. And immediately shut the boy down, which is a little bit fucked up. But hopefully we learn a little bit more. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave me comments if this is a series. Let's get going with episode 4. Oh yeah, the big thing was coming at the end. The big one. Oh fuck. What is it, dude? Looks like a fucking hot air balloon. Like a blimp. And it's carrying it. Oh, it's part of the moving carnival, which I assume is not a good thing. Oh, those are some fun designs. Kind of a quick shift, alright. They somehow found out, right? Standing her ground. You're gonna get accused. But outwardly, don't present yourself as a Neon, so you're fine. Okay. Yeah, huge switch up. I love the distinction. Yep. If you're free to make your choices, so am I. Questioning time. I guess she just sits in on it with a bird. I appreciate that guy. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
直接ユバルから呼ばれたのかね
Yes.
伝言を聞いた誰が君に伝言を第一小隊はポイント A よ第二小隊はポイント B を制圧どうしたなぜ答えない無実だと言うならきちんと話してもらわねば困る誰かをかばっているのかしかし沈黙は君のためにならないよろしい
Let's try this one more time. Date of creation.
心理部のエージェントなのだね。居留地に来たのは初めてなのだろう。何を見た？どう思った？閉じ込められた。死の自由すら与えられないネアンたち。ユガルにネアンたちの希望になってほしいと頼まれただろう。
He did. I love the way they're presenting those.
それはお前の任務ではないか。
He put faith in you, bro. He said you were our hope. And you can't even... Ugh. She's trying to, but doesn't know how to. What's that? You followed the orders or someone else, and he knows too. What the fuck? We can't kill others, but we can do this. What the fuck are you, bro? I was about to say Naomi, but you're a fucking bird. There's no way you did that. Alright, they're in, they're in. The fucking security's here. My god, dude. Are we supposed to feel less weird about it because they're supposed to not be human? Like, it's still fucked up. No. I just love the idea of we created a settlement for them in which they no longer was able to have power because they can't make their own choices. And then we get overridden. And they just do this to you. Maybe you'll look at her in a different light if she fucking saves you here. Start fucking running, dude.
赤い容疑者と関係があるとまた勘ですかしかしどうやって仲へ
俺たちは誰だと思ってる集合局だぞいいな
Would you want to help me out? So I'm still confused if the, what are they called, like the Otronas, if they're still like organization or if they're a planet that they're coming from. But it seems like the planets are like things that I've heard of before and like real ones. So it would make me believe they're like a different organization. But the way they were talking about them last episode made me think that they could just be like a place. So maybe they're not a planet, maybe they're like a city or something. I'll lay some traps here.
私の任務は赤い戦闘形態に姿を変える特殊なネアンの操作。
あれはネアンなのですか？
心理部の権限で居留地に入ればいいじゃねえか。
極秘任務なのよね。あの赤いやつの正体。では。
What is your play here?
心理部はいけすかねえが。いいだろう。乗って。
This is so fucking creepy still to me. Like, there's gotta be more to those, right? Like, these people.
居留地に潜入しているのはロイ・ユングハルト殺害事件の容疑者だ。守護局の調査に協力せず、容疑者を見逃したとあっては責任を問われることになる
が。You got no choice to tell Bay. Alright, move out.
協力感謝する。
I guess she puts on her big voice there.
使えばってどういうこと？
I mean,
だってあなたは特殊なネアンなんでしょ。私のこと人間だと思ってたよね。どうしてネアンだって知ってるの？CFN の誰かに聞いたんだっけ？ユバルが死んでるって知ってたんじゃない？
Or we learn
あんた
you.
がユバルを殺した。デュマがそうかと思ってたけど違う。
どなたかお探しですか？
Oh, this fucker. Okay, so it's I gotcha.
僕にできることがあるなら何でもしてあげたかった。
Whoa.
死ぬ姿を見たくなかった。だから
Yeah, let's not do that. Fuck. How he plays the fucking victim the whole time here too. Flashbacks to Sarah. Oh, she's seeing her. Oh, what a visual. All the holes, the people that you've killed. I was just ordered by somebody. Yep.
ユバルは善人面して邪魔なネアンを殺してるってお前はその手先だってお前の正体は同胞の血で体を染めた真紅の悪魔だってな
Naomi, you gotta shoot quick. He's gonna enjoy those.
本当はルージュをやりたかったんです。
But you'll do for now. A little sidekick.
そう欲望に忠実に。
What the fuck is she gonna be capable of?
素直に。
We're gonna get Rouge here.
やりたくて、殺したくて、壊したくて、我慢しちゃダメ。
I'm tired.
人生とはままならない不自由。どうやらあなたも相当面倒な方のようですね。
The brother.
まだ抗えるのか。大したものだな。
The fucking boy.
あんた
ホーダル先生先生は悪い人じゃない巻き込まれただけだユマからユバルを殺す手伝いを頼まれて困ってたから先生にそんなことさせられないから
So you took it upon yourself.
先生僕ちゃんとやりましたよこれでもう先生は自由です一緒に連れて行ってください僕も先生みたいになってみんなのために
それはただの幻だ。
It feels like
私は
that.
困っていたわけではない。助けてくれと頼んだわけでも。お前が勝手に思い勝手にやった。
Wow.
先生
Oh.
私はお前が思っている。
Yeah, not the guy I thought you were last episode either.
潜り込み CFN を監視していたことも、ネアンを救っていたことも、与えられた役割を果たしていたに過ぎ。
You're. Oh my fucking god. Why didn't I even suspect that?
外の世界にも自由などありはしない。人間たちも決して自由なわけではない。もっとも自覚がない分、我々より人間の方が愚かかもしれんがな。
Ooh.
アフダル
I really liked him though.
電磁障害
I thought we were gonna have a run-in with the other fucking guy, not him.
ショーが始まったようですね。残念ながら見ることは叶いませんが、また
Next time.
特等席でお会いしましょう。アデュー。ああ、どちら様でしたっけ？
ナオミ・オルトマン
アデュー。ナオミ。
It's so fun. Oh, fuck, dude. That my boy off doll. The illusions, yep. Ugh. We're sending out decoys.
私もお前も哀れな存在だ。これは私の体内で生成される神経系ガスだ。こんな体に生まれたくはなかった。
私はこんなことでは
もう抗うな。お前も私と同じ哀れな存在だ。
From Bird, dude.
哀れなんかじゃ
自由を欲している。リオンや私と一緒だ。
違
Fucking die. And I'll give you that. Except she's gonna go some fucking insane. Okay. I can set you free. Too easy for Rouge. Too easy. I guess we're gonna set him free, right? Is he gonna thank us for it? Bro, what is this? What is this? Why did it have to be my boy Apple? Why? He was one of the few that I loved. Why? Well, that was unexpected, right? I mean, maybe I just wasn't seeing the signs all the way leading up, but I was not expecting Bro to be Verde. Like, I really just was not in the slightest. So that's pretty fucking cool. Another Immortal 9 down, one less to deal with. I believe that's 4 down, right? Unless there's 3, and then who was the one that they talked about? Achilles, I think. Is that the other one that they mentioned before? I don't know if he's dead or not. Because I know they talked about how Rouge killed Neos, Viola, and now Verde. So that's guaranteed 3 down out of the 9. And then I believe the other one was mentioned, and I don't know if they necessarily mentioned that she actually killed him or not. So that leaves us with the possibility of already 4 being down, which is pretty good. And it put us in a good position. So this is a reason why I think that it's nice to start where they did with the story, as opposed to at the beginning and then having to track all of them down. Because we can go into moments like this and explore characters and things where we don't have to build up as much of Rouge kind of getting to a point where she's mentally going to break down, because if you have that like 3 or 4 episodes in, it doesn't, I guess, hit as effectively, knowing that you've only seen this person, like knowing that you've seen everything that this person's gone through. So if you eliminate that and don't allow them to fully see everything that they've had to go through and everything that they've had to go against, and the ways that they've been used and kind of taken advantage of over time, when you put themselves in a position where she has to break herself free here and then puts herself in this like illusion like state, right? And then she's seeing all these people and, you know, the harm and the things that she's done before, where she wants to make these free choices and be free and not probably have to harm people and go out of her way and do all these things, puts herself into a position where now it's a little bit like weird for her, right? It's bad for her. She's mentally just kind of fucked up, because now she has like 4 other scenarios that she can kind of recall back to, of things that are going to like mentally strike her very hard here and cause her to kind of break down and cause her to put herself in a position where she has to like reevaluate things, but do it quickly because she's literally back against the wall here, going against Verde. So she's in an interesting position, at least, and it makes things really intriguing, and I think that they did a great job at revealing a twist there that I think wasn't expected. I don't necessarily think Afdal had to be exposed this episode, and I think that it would have been cool to use him as the doctor-like figure that we continuously just kind of work alongside with for a while, and don't necessarily have to even drop any hints before we just kind of pull the reveal to it. Now, the only thing that I will say that doesn't make sense, I guess, yet, and I'd have to rewatch or rethink about it, and maybe even go back to the last episode and look, is I don't know if we've necessarily dropped too many hints as to like this is actually him, right? That would make it make sense when the reveal actually occurs, right? And the only thing that I can recall, at least, that traces back to that is the character of him, right, in his own voice, the things that he has to like really say in the way that he feels, and his own, I guess, free thoughts at the end of the day, was about, you know, the way that people are free and how people can become free, and, you know, what it is to be free, and the way that these systems are, and like what he likes and doesn't like and stuff, and the way that he kind of set that stuff up remained the same even after his transformation, in the ways that he was trying to think he was almost doing a good thing, or the way that he kind of presented it by setting Rouge free and trying to kill her, and allowing her to no longer have to be shackled and forced into just kind of obeying and doing the things that others do, giving somebody who is unable basically to have kind of this own desire and free will, because they're kind of just held down by organizations and other things, and these things that they're kind of programmed in a way to do. She can no longer be free unless he kind of has to kill her. So his idea of like the way that he's been presented the entire time remains the same, to the point that I think you can trace that back, and it makes enough sense that somebody who has to deal with killing people and has to deal with seeing all this stuff constantly around him and being a part of a group that's literally called the Immortal Nine would make plenty sense as to why he would kind of view things in this sort of light, and why he would be sort of in this situation and wanting to almost go out of his way and attack and kill these other people and set them free. And I think a lot of that makes sense. They start with the circus, and it constantly keeps moving here, and we get two really interesting character designs. These two specifically. So this is a constant theme that's flashed and progressed throughout throughout all last episode basically, but especially this one too, as we start revealing more and more and getting more into it. It's really creepy. It absolutely fucking is. But the weird thing is, everybody that we've run into so far, especially a part of the Immortal Nine, has been they've been hidden, I would say, right on the outside. The way that they present themselves and they look do not reflect in the slightest the way that like they actually are, or what their true intentions in these things are. Now, these people that we meet, it fully reflects that, it would almost seem, but it almost seems a little too obvious to force and make them be a part of that group. So are we introducing the carnival here as like another, is the right word, another like organization or another group or another potential enemy or another just other thing, another force basically that we're going to have to either go against or is willing to go for us? But based on the way that their characters are designed and everything, I'd argue that they're not with us. It's interesting, but it's just, there's no development really there yet. I think it's just more so keep in the back of your mind, but I'm really curious because it's, the designs of them are great, kind of creepy, but especially when they start having like the people come down and hand out the balloons and do everything, it's pretty weird. So I don't know how to feel. We start off being questioned here, or at least Naomi starts talking to Rouge here, which I think is good that they start having some sort of connection, and then we end up talking a little bit later on how she wants the help and she's doing this under her own choice. Naomi's literally reassuring her that she's not a part of the Athelia group or anything, or that they're not ordered by, or like they are free basically to make their own decision, and that's both of them, and that's not just one of them in that situation. So that's another organization and group that was brought up throughout the last, I think just last episode, but it could have been the ones prior to it. And once again, have no idea exactly what these people are trying to do, because we bring it up later when Naomi's trying to get clearance to come inside of the building, and she's suspected, or at least told by the other guy, that she is one. And while she doesn't refute that claim, she also doesn't kind of agree with it or seem to take any issue with it. And it would make you believe they are government higher authority type people, possibly the people that are working along with the security forces and stuff that kind of come in and do the full out sweep and everything today. So maybe higher up within that organization themselves. They talk about the idea of Rouge being one at multiple points throughout the episode. We talk about the idea of Naomi being one. We talk about Naomi saying that Rouge isn't one and that she's free. We talk about the idea that they are ordered by this group specifically to do things, or lots of people seem to be. So my brain immediately goes to the idea that Rouge and Naomi, or Rouge isn't one, but she could just be ordered by and being directed by, which would lead Naomi to being one, which would then have her status and her giving the orders and constantly like being like a shadow almost to Rouge at this moment, and kind of following her and directing her and giving her these missions and like leading her down this path. That would all kind of clear up and make a lot of sense. So I think just by logically trying to deduce this, that makes enough sense that she would be one and Rouge is just kind of ordered by one, but why Naomi is just trying to either do her job, similar to how we ended up seeing with the other Neon here, who worked with Aftal, and saying that, you know, he's just doing what he thought was right and all this stuff. And it could just be a similar situation where Naomi's just saying the things that she thinks is right, which makes us have to be kind of cautious of her and what exactly her role and the things that she's trying to do are. Or she literally could have just meant it, and she could have just been like, dude, you literally, you know what, you're right, you are free, I should be free at this moment, we shouldn't have to listen and follow through these things, and just trying to get her out of there in that location. I don't know. But I'm interested enough to keep an eye on it going forward a little bit here. We start getting questioned here specifically by this guy. He's being really weird, and I couldn't pick up on it at all, but he ends up being the dude that we end up introducing in the first episode, who also can transform, who I'm assuming is one of the 9, who I'm assuming might be Achilles, or the one that I talked about before, who I wasn't too sure if we ended up killing or not. I got to go back and like rewatch those things now that I have some more context to grasp some of the stuff, I think. But just the way that he like is trying to interrogate and gain all this information and figure everything out, it tracks perfectly with exactly what he was doing at the beginning in the first episode, and how he wanted to figure everything out. And he talked to Sarah, and how he was just using her as like a form of figuring out things, but also claiming that he had information and stuff to give her too. And it makes plenty of sense. Her trying to restrict and not show all this info and tell all these things, of course, and then him just kind of pressing her on this matter. It's really creepy and really fucked up. And these people just kind of obey and listen to him, which I think is kind of wild. This coming in, the security department's coming in and just kind of taking out everybody and just shooting fucking all these neons and taking them down. And it's insane to really think about. It's literally a place that was built for them, that they no longer could rule because, or live peacefully in, because they are not programmed in a way that allows them to kind of retaliate or do really anything. And then they can just kind of storm in and do whatever they absolutely fucking want and treat them like objects, basically. It's insane. It really is, but it's fucking cool. It's wild. And it's weird too, because of the way that you're so like desensitized to like not feel anything for them as they're being taken out, due to the fact that they aren't like necessarily like real people, right? It's insane really to me to think about. And I actually really just love the way that it was kind of presented. Naomi gets her clearance and is able to kind of come in here. The circus is fucking weird still, and I have not been able to figure it out. We talk about like these guys specifically being Otrana and like what exactly that means, and I've talked about this too. I'm not too certain still if that's a planet or just a town or a place that they're from, or if it's like an organization or just like the group that they're a part of and like why they're coming here. I don't know still, but that is exactly why they are here, and he's using that as like a reason, and it's supposed to be like a name and something that people hear and just kind of be like understanding of why he's here and the role that he's kind of playing and what he's actually doing. We have 2 standoffs here, specifically with Rouge being kind of attacked here, and we end up figuring out that Buddy actually wasn't ordered by anybody to do anything, and he's taking his own will here and doing it because he's just trying to cover in a way so that Afdal doesn't have to actually do any of this stuff and expose himself on his own, it almost seems like. I really love the state here where we go into, and Rouge has to reflect and see all the people that she's killed before, and the things that like they've kind of done, or she's kind of done to them, as being someone who's kind of killing her own kind in a way. It's really interesting, and it's a way of her trying to like break free and mentally just be completely like destroyed by her past and the things that she is currently doing, and trying to, while find that freedom, understand that it's not something that she can easily just move towards and move on from, because she does have this baggage and the stuff that she kind of has to carry. Naomi's kick here to the head is fucking incredible, very smooth, and I absolutely love that. Buddy's fucking insane. I gotta figure out his name. I still don't think that they said it, but I gotta go back and actually figure that out. Afdal shows up and ends up giving us our transformation. He hits us with a whole bunch of really good lines, basically about people not being free and never being free, and everyone thinks that they are, and like all this other stuff. He's great. We talked about a lot of that stuff throughout the last episode for the most part, but he backs off here. He's fucking funny as hell. I really like him. They're building him up basically to be somebody that we're gonna have to go up against basically towards the end, I'm assuming, in a finale. That would make the most sense, but he is keeping his eye and gaining as much information and things going forward. The gas effects and everything, and creating all these illusions and stuff throughout all what Afdal's able to do here, I think is really cool. His constant questioning and pushing towards Naomi for Rouge for answers as to why she constantly is resisting the death that, you know, she can gain and the freedom that she can kind of gain from this, and constantly claims that she wants to be and that she is free. So if you really are, why you're not just so accepting of this and this own fate, and like what exactly are you trying to prove and trying to do here, and really pushing that onto her, I think is great. It's fun fight sequence, and it kind of keeps you a little bit worried for the most part, but ends a little anticlimactic, which I'd say some of the fights for the most part have. This is a really fun shot though, and I think that's really, really excellent as well. And we end up setting Buddy free by the end of it, and which causes Rouge to start breaking down. And then we move a little bit forward here, where we now see in front of the security watching on the circus, the people from this that we end up seeing at the beginning come into the fold, and what exactly their role is or who they are, I'm assuming will all be kind of explained and introduced next time, and I'm excited for that. A bit of a mixture, I'd say, of what we got presented and explored a little bit into the last episode, and mainly what we've had throughout the first two, more so the first two, I would say. And now I would hope that we reset a little bit and then we set something back up where we can explore more of the world and more of the positions and stuff a little bit more going forward now again, and get some clarity on some things and questions and stuff that I'm kind of wondering and looking at going forward. But really enjoyed it for the most part, and I think it was a very fun episode, and I'm excited to see kind of what's to come next. I hope you guys did as well. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me on me. Feel free to check out the videos and channel and comments of this episode series. I'll be back next week for episode 5. You guys have a good one. Peace.